All right, folks, late edition on a Tuesday. What's going on? Let's get it here. What's happening, folks? Market has decided to take the rest of the summer off, it seems. But we've been talking about that really since the end of June. Meanwhile, crypto seems like it wants to do something for the first time in nearly a year. So we'll talk about that. Guys, settle on in. It's right now it is 2:18 here on the East Coast. Getting settled in. Normally we're 12:30. I had some things. I'm taking care of some things, and but I want to keep it going. Didn't want to miss today's show. And everyone else, you know what to do. Get to harmonictrader.com. Let's get with the software. If you're new here, that's the place to start. You know, harmonictrader.com, www.harmonictrader.com. Just become a basic member. It's all free, and then free trial for the software. And I will announce give you guys access to what this summer. I told you I was going to do a little promotion, and I don't want to do a hard promotion, so I really just want to kind of make it available to the people that are here all the time, that you guys are looking for a discount. And so what I'm going to do, what I've decided to do is make it so that you guys can have a 30-day free trial to the gold membership and get a 30% off. I do that with not 30-day trial, 15-day trial, but 30% off for now. Okay, and I'm going to put that in the box right now for the trading view, but at least start with the trial. We're going to do this for a week, And that's it. So I'm going to put that in the box, and you get there over there. It's going to be the code, okay, is going to be summer 30. Capital SUMMER 30. And we're going to do this for only the week, next week, okay? And I just put that in there. That is now in the chat. So you have any questions, hit me up on the Discord. That's the deal. I'll post it. It's right there. Okay, but everything starts at harmonictrader.com. Let's get into some charts and let's see where we're at. Look, Bitcoin's at 79K, which we talked about. A big 886 retrace. And that's a starting point. I will take it till really the end of the week. Let's see how we finish up this week. But, that's the only metric I want to consider right now. And that's like it's a touch over 886. Right around 80,000. All right. Here, I'm going to post that also. Put it on X. And then you get, here, let me put it like this. And I'll put it on X as well. Okay, there you go. Don't say it. Don't say I don't do anything for you guys. Everyone else settle in. Yeah, it's a little late. I don't know what the heck to think of this market other than just be patient with it. And it's something we've been saying. We've gone into this phase where there's not a heck of a lot going on. Great to see everybody. What's going on? Jack, you want to look at RX, a couple other people. We can go into those quantum stocks. Let's talk about just a few interesting scenarios with crypto. And I'm kind of just warming back up to the whole fact that this is the big deal with Bitcoin, is that we're going to have this yellow dot, and that yellow dot was a minimum consideration no matter what. I still want to say that, we're going to call it that this would be the first cycle where we don't go to a 786, and that's 39K. Maybe that's possible. I've been saying that I will take this negative scenario until October, but I did say something last week where I don't want to be overtly bearish negative when we're popped up with signals like what we're seeing. And again, guys, go back here. This is why you get the software. You're going to only get signals like this. So there's the dot on the last cycle at the low. We retested that level, and away we went. And so that would still put us, just be clear, that maybe it's a low 60s thing. We're not in an acceleration mode yet. It's still super early. But I'm respecting the signals the chart is kicking out. We talked about that last week. Great to see. What's up, guys? Come on in, everybody. Great to see everybody. I'm happy you guys could show up. And everyone else, what's going on? Yeah, I have a little bit of a head cold. I do. I have my my deep radio voice on today, but I do have a little bit of a cold. We're just kind of like endless activities, and I don't know. I was at the craziest kids party on Saturday that I've ever been to, and I don't think anyone is ever going to top it. And it was, I don't know, it changed me. Let me just say that. It just changed me. It pulled my head out of my ass. It was a friend of my son's. It was the most insane singular birthday party I think I've ever been to, especially for a kid. I don't know. It makes me wonder, that this economy and people have plenty of cash and they are spending it. So that's just a side note. Anyway, we will persevere. Guys, we're here Tuesday, Thursday, 12:30ish, do the Harmonic Pattern podcast, talking harmonic patterns here. And crypto has been kind of woken up out of a deep slumber. We had some signals down here. I'm still thinking this is reaction. And I do want to kind of connect some dots here that we do have on the daily here a shark. What the hell does that mean? Shark is XAB. C is at a slightly lower low. That sets up the divergence for the super aggressive move. So where's the 886? Right there. We just hit it. That was 80,260. That's a big number for now. For everything that started last week, let's start focusing on 80K. 80K 250. It could see some kind of a pullback, but check it out. All right. We're overbought. We're going to probably get the signal tomorrow. So first thrust, one and done. But I'm impressed. And I think what you're considering here is not just a singular move, singular month, but you're looking for development going forward to see this thing do something into the end of the year, into the beginning of next year, that's a massive monthly low. Everything's there that we want to see. So, all good. All good. Oh, check that out. Wow, Dolly Parton just died. Oh, I hate breaking news like that. All right. Wow, that's something else. Dolly Parton. Gone. You guys hear that? Let me break some news here. There you go. She's gone. Wow. That's tough. Tough, tough, tough. Life is short, people. Spend your time wisely. Make sure you are investing in yourself and you put your own self-interests ahead of anything else before considering anyone else. I'm going to say that. Be selfish for yourself. And that's, I call this a selfish show because we are focused on harmonic patterns to define opportunities so we can improve our own life. Everyone else will take care of themselves. Crazy. Bitcoin, are we talking an opportunity here? The ideal setup is going to be complete this month. You've got a week. Not even, you got 6 days. So we'll be in here, what is it? Next, Tuesday, a week from today, will be the 1st of September. So September is the huge month. Let's take a look at a couple of big patterns. Like Bitcoin, we know the deal. I will be no longer beating this to a pulp. I will be looking for signs of life starting in September. But I'm fairly happy with how we handled most of the year. We were calling Fugazi on this ever since November. And then the breakdown, 50% correction, we were way in front of that. Anyway, a couple of things that before I get too much further, I do want to show you. So first of all, what's the number one crypto out there? It's got to be Zcash. Zcash, okay. I'm a little sour about Zcash. I told you guys the deal. But it also tells me not to get over my skis to dismissive. I mean, that stuff 2 years ago was trading. Not even. Are you kidding me? We're talking 15, 16 months ago. That was trading sub 30 and it hit 880. And the chart looks like fire. So it's not all a total wasteland. But what are the things that I'm taking away from the Zcash chart? Simply the significance of monthly dots. I would think you catch one of those signals. You catch one oversold monthly HSI signal. Okay, you're talking life-changing situation here. And that's what that did. Now, what else is out there that has monthly dynamics, including patterns, before crypto gets crazy. And I'm thinking that's where we need to put our brain. Chainlink. Okay, I talked about this last time. We're going to have some dots here. In fact, there's a number of crypto putting in dots, putting in ideal type 2 patterns. Look at Chainlink here. Again, guys, get with the program right now. Get with the software. I'm making that available right now. I'm not going to give anything away. You've got 5 days to take advantage of this kind of August quick discount special to line up your patterns like this. Chainlink 929 is the bigger number, but confirmation comes in down there at 860. Currently 1150. This is going to take time, but if we get a retest back here in between $8-9, this could be very well the massive low for the next cycle. And I'm only going to go with it because I think culturally, especially younger folks, are going to chase this stuff. I don't share the same sentiments as a lot of people do about crypto, but as a market that has people participating and hundreds of millions of dollars exchanging hands, we need to think of it in terms of buyers and sellers and the fact that this cycle is going to come back. Chainlink, right? Everyone's talked about how great Chainlink is. Well, this could be the biggest opportunity. Finally, type 2 pattern, although that 2 is really over here in February. Confirmation, sideways development, bang. So I don't want to be overly dismissive, and I want to highlight the exact things that are coming together where if you're going to get it on a bid and this thing is going to run into the next cycle, okay, you're looking at major harmonic pattern developments. I think September for Chainlink got to get above the 50 level. And then you go again. What's going on? Yep, I can look at those. Chat, come on in. Get settled. If you guys want to look at some other things, just let me know. I'm just getting caught up here. Hold on. I got to get back to you guys. Couple other ones. Couple other things.
$8-9.
What are we doing here? There you go. Here's another one. And so I have a small position in this. There you go. Stronghold, SHX. I mean, I've got a lot of coins, but monetarily, it's not what it used to be. But Stronghold, SHX, they're all in that whole circle of SHX and XRP and XLM. So it looks like this, if I can get there. So SHX is another one. It's going to print a monthly dot. Doesn't look like much. I mean, really, you are still early. But look at the weekly chart. Again, I want to be in front of these patterns. And so when they develop, we can say, yeah, we lined them up. We were there. We triggered off the confirmation. Gartley, type 2, on the weekly. All right, that completed on Sunday night. And that completion trigger is right at 0.003 cents. XA level, 0.0034. Okay, if we know anything about these patterns, they are like stamps. They show us levels, and this is a type 2 also, where it's an extraordinary harmonic framework situation. Those are two of them. There's been a couple other ones that was it Stacks? Yeah, Stacks here. These were left for dead. Absolutely left for dead 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So these little moves, I mean, that was 12 cents at the low, 26. I know it looks like garbage, but we do have patterns. We do have confirmation here. And I don't want to be there maybe 6 months from now, where I'm saying, guys, what the hell were we doing? Not respecting big monthly signals, or even better, stacks. This is an AI coin. When these clearly cross the 50 level, that's where the acceleration can begin on HSI. One or two more. I don't want to go totally crazy. I'm willing to look at the total chart. Total market cap is going to print a dot. Here we go again, like Bitcoin. No 786, which again is going to be the first cycle where we haven't seen the 786. It's a 618. It's a perfection 618 all time. So you take a look at that. I mean, it's on Bitcoin, it was within $100. All right, there you go. But I'm more focused on the confirmation. We can, the retracements and everything, that provides a framework. But the confirmation is where the divergence happens. That's a big candle. We're going to start looking in about 6 days. Sunday night, folks. That's and total market cap is like 214. And what's total 3? Total 3, they're all printing. Again, super early. You go back to 2022, all right? And I think this is a good comparison. All right, you printed the dot. That was February 23. You still went through 6, 8 months of consolidation, kind of as what I like to call development, before we took off. And what was the signal? Well, we crossed the 50 on these monthly. All right, 50 above HSI for the first time. That came the following month, and then more dramatically, these are the things to be looking for. You want to see a massive turn in trend? Those events need to happen. You crack the 50 on AMP RSI, you crack the 50 on HSI, then you can start thinking acceleration. And that point where we cracked both HSI and amplified was there, and you took off. Wouldn't we want to be here, then all the way back here, digging around for 6 more months? That's how I'm looking at it, and I'm not a fan. I've had a few things happen to me in this space that I did not like, but the signals and the level of harmonics, pretty dramatic. Over the last few years, we've learned that that's pretty remarkable. I got to say, XRP, I was dissing this not 2 weeks ago at 99 cents, and then it bounced all the way to 170, now 147. I'm still not a big fan, but I will call it. First step, monthly, HSI has been generated. Beyond that, I'm just going to watch. I'm not, I really, I don't have a heck of a lot pattern-wise in XRP, but because it's one of the big ones. And remember, right at the top, what did we have? We had a perfect type 2. Type 1, crab pattern, and then that was the 2. Right there, right at the hop, 353. So in the same way, we're looking for patterns that have type 2s, long-term chart, monthly objectives, monthly confirmations, and then we'll see. The other one, Stellar Lumens, guys, that was the big one I had on the last cycle. So you're down here at 19 cents, recent low. Confirmation actually did come in for the first time back in May, but this is what I call perfect development. All right, you trigger it first. Would be great if you could come back and retest it, but that's what I mean in terms of not just jumping at it because we have one big candle, but it is a starting point. Couple more. Couple others. How are we doing on there's a lag? Are we guys, update me for how's the sound? How's the broadcasting? Let me know if we've got some kind of lag here. All right, just somebody chime in, please. Okay, please let me know. Beyond that, guys, there's other things to consider. I think I will get into them as we get closer to next week, and I still say that September is probably the month where things really start to come together. That's it. But I want to be out in front of this. What do we? Was it SUI? SUI? Yeah, SUI's going to register. A lot of them, if they haven't registered, they look like that, like SUI. And the probably the second best asset in the space is Hyperliquid. And look at that, busting all-time highs. I mean, that's what crypto should look like. Sorry, but that's what it should have been happening here with all of crypto. So monthly, that firm control, and then where were we on hyper? Yeah, I mean some daily continuation behavior. I still say this will probably register something up at 85 or $90, but this is an asset you want to have on your screen because you're going to have a retrace, and that next retrace is probably going to be the one that launches this well into price discovery. Check it out, Hyperliquid, It's like this. You're already there. You're at all-time highs, and the Bitcoin cycle has not even begun, and I'm just going to throw up simple 1618. Looks like that, Where's the 1618? Oh, bang. We just hit it at $82. All right, keep an eye. 82, build out the zone, and maybe 1902 to the top. But that's still a little bit higher, like $94. And then a retrace and go again. But that's one of the strongest charts. That and Zcash. I like it. What's up, Floyd? I'm all ears. Hold on. Great to see everybody. Come on in, folks. We're on a Tuesday. We're pretty chill. I do want to go to NQ, NASDAQ, really quick here and just kind of highlight the uneventful nature of what's happening today. We were up a couple hundred. Now it looks like we're coming back. And here you go. Let me get this off. I'm doing a lot of work on the 5-minute RTH. We did have something before I started. There you go. 5-minute NQ. That's looking better. Boy, it's been dragging. I mean, really dragging. But we did, I guess, as we started, we got the breakout. But we're retesting some signals from this morning right there. What was it? 218? 219-ish. And we had the retest, but again, same way that we talk about it on the 50 level breakout. Like if you're really looking for price acceleration, this is a 5-minute chart. Okay, where here does the corresponding signal, breakout, retest point us to really where it can get going? It's there. What bar was that on the 5-minute chart? That was like 220. It's right around when we started. And amplified right there. Okay, those are the two signs we want to see. You have some pattern, some signal down here. All right, break above the 50, then we can look for some kind of price acceleration. The number was generally 220. Now 257. I think you can get back up there. Maybe 280, make a run for 300. We're almost in the power hour here, no biggie. But that's what I've been looking at. A whole bunch of these 5-minute signals where, again, I said this last time, we have not had a heck of a lot of action. We've had some nominal moves like this morning. They open it up, they throw it down, okay, fill the gap. It's programmed. But there's the confirmation. Came in around 10:50, 11 o'clock. You had a little midday bump, but really this is not the kind of action we were seeing 3 months ago. So I'm more inclined just to let this unfold, accept it that it's the summer, And, we will get back into it. It's just not happening right now. I mean, you can take the trades. I don't think you can expect more than a 50, 60 point move at most. Anyway, I'm opening the floor. What do you guys want to look at? I'm going to be here for another 20, 30 minutes. Keep it loose. We'll be back for a full show on Thursday. Whatever you guys want to talk about. Little lag. It's choppy, huh? Well, that sucks. Let me see here. Let me see what the deal is. It shouldn't be. You guys keep me posted. Spotty lag. I can't believe this. Well, then I'll keep it lighter. It's kind of. Hold on. Let me see here what we got. I don't know what's going on there. Let me make sure. All right, that should be better. I don't know why that's not picking it up, but let me know if I'm lagging, please. I would appreciate that. Let me know if the volume cuts in or out. Anyway, you guys have a couple of things you want to look at. I mean, the Jasmy, there's in that crypto space. I think a lot of these need until September. Okay, Jasmy, all right. There's something there. I mean, starting to move, but look at the long-term chart. Yeesh, what a crusher. 0.003 cents, and then they bounce it. Anything here on the monthly? Yeah, look, we're back with these guys, the monthly harmonic dots. I'm not questioning it. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to be here in 6 months from now saying I should have thrown a couple $1,000 into a signal like this at, less than half a penny. And it goes to 3 or goes to 4 cents, something like that. I think that's the proposition we're looking at right now. So we'll do more of this on Thursday. You guys want to get into NVIDIA earnings coming up? Again, NVIDIA. I don't see this at any point doing anything but continuing this long-term uptrend. Where's the next jump on point? Doesn't look great, right? Why isn't this not absolutely raging? Tomorrow's earnings. I think you're looking at like 197 as the bigger check back point. Not to mention, all right, we do have a breakout within this trend channel. And so this is probably your back test of that breakout area. I'm thinking if you could snap that up under 200, you go on that. Weekly time frame, nothing. Not anything other than simply holding above this 50 level. So look, NVIDIA could have a check back. 197 is a big number for NVIDIA, but I don't think you're going to spend much more time down here, sub 200. Currently 213. And the big number is still 245. We're looking for NVIDIA, I'd say by year's end. Okay, come back, finish this check back within the multi-year trend channel, and then go 1618. That current 1618 is actually more like 268, 270, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 197 is a bargain. We'll definitely look at that on Thursday. Yeah. I do. What's up, Floyd? I like Path. Path, you're saying Path has earnings on Thursday. This UiPath, I've been saying I like that really since July because of some oversold down there at 1040. Not to mention you got patterns looking left, right back at 19-ish, maybe as high as 22. That's the weekly chart. Monthly, yeah, this is the other thing about these monthly signals, right? Big oversold arrow diamond dot. Doesn't look like much. It really doesn't, but I have dug in deep on the last, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months looking at these type of signals, especially things like semiconductors from a year ago. What were the signs? What were the signs that you had a major turnaround? That's one of them on PATH. And you got to like where this is. That's on a monthly chart. We're above the 50. That's where acceleration can happen. And then HSI above 50. Again, that's where you can expect acceleration. I like that. Couple other ones. That's a good one. Adobe for Mr. Asimparo. Adobe and the software stocks. Remember what we said last time. This is a sector that is finally turning around after 3 years down. Monthly chart on Adobe looks like that. 223. Hop level, confirmation. 252, 253. You are in that zone. This is a major deal monthly. And not to mention, finally, August. Well, July was the turnaround, but August is the continuation. You got to be looking at that. It's the same as here's the software crew. All right, software bros. If you're looking for turnaround plays, this is it. Monday.com above the 50. We get amplified above 50. This thing doesn't look back. And Monday.com, it's like that. You know, couple of patterns looking left here. Anywhere in this low 90-ish area. Monday.com, we said Workday, Salesforce. Salesforce is already, I mean, that's a hell of a bounce. Maybe we can get a retrace back to 180. But these are all prime position. That's Salesforce. Here's Workday. Workday. Yeah, that's already 120 to 220 already. But these are major lows down here. ServiceNow, that's probably one that a lot of people have been talking about. Harmonic pattern wise, 109. Big zone. 109. It's a crab pattern. Hop level was the absolute low. Confirmation. And you're looking for this. Yes, it's a type 1, but that's like 140, 142-ish. And then here's the weekly. You've got weekly oversold and monthly. Arrow, diamond, no dot. But you're really making this assumption that this long-term uptrend continues from here. So I'm down on that. Oracle is the other one where it's either 130 or 120 maximum, but Oracle is another one that by Sunday, by Friday that is, we stay green. That's a big deal. So a lot of development things here. I know the market looks like garbage at the moment, and there, is seemingly zero or very little opportunity. I'm going to argue and say this is actually the quiet before the storm, or quiet before, darkest before the dawn, kind of a thing. Others. Let's keep it rolling. What's up? Victoria is in the house. Scott's Miracle Grow. You know what? I looked at that myself. I looked at that because of their grass donation at the White House, which is I thought, what's going on with Scott's Miracle Grow? Is this a turnaround play, a household name? Got crushed during COVID. Okay, it's another monthly. I like the idea, Victoria. Where are we on the level? Now, HSI pointing in the wrong direction. Monthly, it's pointing down. It's at the 50. But I like this as a potential long-term basing situation. 60 is the number. 60. It's currently 61. The number the monthly check back number is like 50. So I would say put this on the radar. And I did put that on my radar. And then you've got daily here, some oversold. Big patterns looking left. That's a nice one. That's even better. So you have weekly, monthly dynamics going on there, and you have a beautiful type 2 bat pattern. And I don't think you're going to get hurt. You might not do something for a while, but if you're looking for those bigger recovery plays, I like that one. It kind of reminds me of Clorox, guys, where Clorox is down here. Clorox looks like total garbage. What do we have here? Weekly, monthly. Look at the monthly on Clorox. Okay, your assumption is the pattern is screaming long-term retracement value. And if you're right about the low, Clorox is down here right at the XA level at 103. Confirmation a little bit higher. But this is one of these forever stocks. It might take 6 months. You might be screwing around here at $100 plus or minus 5 until January. But let me say it's like this. Once you clear that zone, you're never looking back. This is kind of long-term economic force dynamics that give it time, but this is setting up for that long-term inflection. What was the other one? Oh, Target, right? Who put up Target? Yeah, Target keeps rocking. Keeps rocking. On the monthly chart, you're down 6 today, but this is what a long-term kind of permanent low. We will never see sub 100 again on Target. Okay, you're looking for Target just to keep rocking. And I'm saying, based on the patterns here, monthly type 2 dynamics, arrow, dot, diamond, bang. And we've been on this since sub 100. You're looking for 205 off the pattern. That is for a certain type of money. Your long-term money, your retirement money deserves attention for something like that. But that's a great one. A couple more. What's up, guys? What's up? Don Cristo. Hey, Don Cristo, I think I was at one of your parties. Or maybe it was a party of one of your family members. Guys, this party I went to on Saturday for the kids was off the charts. Speaking of off the charts, I mean, it was, I don't know, it's so funny because the people that have real money never talk about it. And that was this example. It was awesome party, awesome people, just kind of mind-blowing of like, if you had any doubt if the economy was strong or not, this convinced me. Okay, monthly on HUT, rolling over, but just let's take note of the monthly, what preceded this. Okay, monthly dot, arrow dot, and HUT screwed around there. Long time, for $5 before going to 140. So you need to think about this in terms of other monthly plays setting up, crypto, what have you. These monthly charts, they might take 2 years to develop, but this is how we get 20, 30x. That, for me, I've been digging super deep on this. So, HUT, can we get another monthly? Not yet. At a minimum, HUT's got to come back, retest the 50 line. For sure. Daily, we talked about this last week. We got this bat pattern. No confirmation. So you might have a little reaction up to 100, but I don't have the longer term signals I want to see. There's a few others. I talked about TerraWolf. I think this might be in a better relative situation. All right, confirmation, $15 is the price. Not going to get going until we can see a full breakout and amplified like that. But again, it's the summer. We're not doing much. but we will be soon. Michael Krieger, what's going on? How you doing? Wants to look at Micron for Michael. Here's another one, right? I think everyone's writing Micron off as dead meat, but Arrow. Look at that weekly continuation, trying to exert some upside pressure. But where's HSI on the weekly? Not above the 50. When we get above the 50, that's when acceleration will unfold. I'm still looking, can we get the bigger retest on the 4-hour chart from Micron? It is a type 2. We had confirmation. The big numbers are 900 minimum, maybe back here at like 860, 800s, but this has broken out. It doesn't look like it, but off of the late June retracement, you've got a type 2 pattern. You got confirmation. What's the only thing that needs to happen? Get back above the 50 and get going. So I still like it. I would be taking a close look. Anything sub 900's probably a long-term opportunity. Yeah, and you want to look at DRAM too. That's another one where we didn't get the confirmation that we wanted on the daily 4-hour time frame. Yeah, and look at the check back that happened. That was last week, 53.50. Okay? That's a big number. I mean, something like this, you're looking for it to settle out and get ready to go again. Nothing really on. We haven't gotten oversold on the daily. I would love to see some kind of signal, but don't take your eyes off of it. Keep it going. Keep it going. Nito, what's happening? Kimberly Clark, welcome to the program. We're here Tuesday, Thursday, 12:30ish. Although today, doctor appointment. No cancer. I'm serious. No cancer. It was good news. Kimberly Clark, 110 daily, weekly. Not bad. Look at the crab, 110. What about the monthly? This is what I'm talking about. Okay, these are sleepers, guys. These are for longer term retirement portfolio. I want to pick up a dividend. I want to buy the household names on a discount. Yielding 4.56%. That's enormously significant. Right there. 96 bucks, currently 110. Get it on the radar. Let's go. Kimberly Clark, you are on the list. I like it. Because these names have been really suppressed for 4 or 5 years or longer. This might even be a decade. But it's not going to stay there. And I'll show you. Listen. Coca-Cola. Look at that chart, guys. Coca-Cola, right? Remember when, I don't know if a couple of you guys remember, we were talking about Coca-Cola all the way back here at 54. Type 2, you never have to sell it. You buy it on a type 2, and I remember saying that you're never selling it. And Coca-Cola, now a double. And what are you picking up? 2%, 2.2%? Not as great, but that's not bad. Look, longer term, especially you younger folks, you younger people, put yourself 20 years down the line. You're 25, you're 30, 35 years old. Okay, where are you going to be when you're my age? Are you working towards that longer term goal? Are you picking stocks that have quality fundamentals for your long term kind of investment needs, where you put in X amount of dollars in something like Target or Kimberly Clark, and you don't have to worry about it, and you're going to outperform S&P. You're going to outperform general market, maybe not NASDAQ. I mean, we haven't even looked at the Qs in a while. I mean, that's a hell of a chart since 2022. But you're looking for older, dodgier, boomerish companies, okay, where you're going to have a better return than sitting in the bank account and you're building towards a bigger future. When you get to my age, you don't want to be there. Trust me, you want to be thinking that now. That's why you guys are all here. You hit the bangers on, high beta stocks, crypto, but that's for a percentage of the money. Like half the money that you have should be geared towards those longer term stocks. What else? What else do we got, guys? Microsoft on the monthly for the birdhouse. Perfect example. And we talked about all the dynamics here. Weekly 374 was the retest from last year's pattern. That matters. Look, 374 to 352. Who remembers that? We were right there at 352 saying that's it. You're scraping the edge. And I mean in terms of long term. Like Microsoft, you're probably looking at a permanent low, never to be exceeded ever again. And it's going to take time. But you work your way up to where you're thinking, I can get to new all-time highs from here. It might take 6 months. It might take a year. But down there with that retest in the channel, you're thinking longer term 1618. That's it. And you do that, you'll probably do something like this. You come up, you have a 382 retrace, something, and you go again. But once you're down here, forget about it. Okay, 375 is going to be an afterthought in a year or two when you're trading above 700. The other one I said this was Meta. I think Meta is exactly where Microsoft was about 6 weeks ago, and we produced a dot yesterday. That's a big deal. We were looking as low as 522, so close. But what you're looking for, you're looking at framework, you're looking at confirmation that that's a massive low, massive inflection low. Weekly time frame, it's there. 577, you're still below. Do we have it in a monthly? No, not on the monthly. That's a shame. Last time we had something on the monthly was 2023. But again, look at how these monthly arrow, dot, diamond. I'm telling you, that's money. These are, just extremely precise long-term markers of a turnaround, massive recovery play. Investigate it. Listen, get the software. That's what I'm saying. Get it for 2 weeks. Okay, get the software for 2 weeks and just work through all the charts. I'll send you videos. Follow along here. Send your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst.com. Because once you open your eyes and you see the framework, see how the confirmation comes together, all right, then you're digging hard. Then you're motivated. Here's one that's got me motivated, okay? Moderna. This is not a one and done. You're up 20 today. Again, monthly markers here. Arrow, dot, diamond, all of that was at 26, 28. And this is a massive breakout. Like, just amazing. You don't screw around with a chart like that. Look, massive breakout, holding inside days for a few days here. And then get going again. Remember, weekly, we had some targets here. We had a big pattern looking left. It matters. Technically, it is a type 1 alternate bat. I'm calling it 228.70, guys. So you got another 50, 60 to the top side, maybe 70 to 228. All right, you might have missed it. Okay, a lot of people missed it, but break it down. Even I'd say 5-minute time frame. If we're really there, okay, then and this is aggressively moving, then 5-minute patterns are going to be your friend. 132 was a big number. Don't lose sight of that. Really, just keep your eyes fixed forward. Meanwhile, Nasdaq's doing nothing. Nasdaq now 247. It's just the summer. But I think it's something where we line up these opportunities. Okay, when they get in, if we get a nice retrace early September, it's going to trigger a number of these setups, especially on the monthly. Let's go a couple more. Couple more. Great to see everybody. Quantum. The quantum trade. Okay. Quantum, we had some couple of requests for qubits, quantum computing. I think this is another area. It looks dead, right? Look at QBT. QUBT, what's there? Well, it was really 400 and now it's what, $8? Do we have any signals? Yeah, we have some signals. We've got some dot material. It's telling you it's oversold. What's the problem? This stuff takes time. Takes time. It's on the radar, but it takes time. All right, and I'm looking. We were looking at this a year ago when this came back on the daily, and we had some really nice patterns. I know specifically. You go back to when we were talking about this back in March and May 2025. It did a sizable move from about 4 to 28 and then back down. And these patterns matter right now. Shark, Gartley, the fact that you're populating these patterns, they're kicking them out. All right, that's big. Don't ignore it. And the way that I'm going to suggest it is simply go through prior charts and say, what were the signals? Okay, what did we have that preceded the massive 5x move, 10x move? QMCO. This is a obscure symbol. I know I talked about this way back here, 527. We had another one, 982. This is Quantum Corp. How is that different than the other quantum? Quantum computing. This is Quantum Corp. The takeaway, though, patterns looking left. You bet. What about preceding that crazy move? Was there anything on the monthly? Not the greatest, but you did have a big pattern. It wasn't 93. Confirmation was pointing you more like $20 where it is right now. But I would dig deep, guys. I am super bullish going into next year. We have to deal with the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Well, once we get past that, all right, we are going to go full price discovery. Prepare. Couple more. You got it. RPD, what's up, genius? RPD, what do we have here? Rapid 7. Okay, my man. You definitely have the software. I appreciate it. Hey, baby genius, you got to hit me up over on the Discord. I want to invite people that want to check out our gold chat because admittedly, it has been kind of boring really since late June, which is when we said the market's going to go on a break here. But I think this is going to end. Give it a couple more weeks, and then we're going to be back into the 8 to 4 trading sessions. Right now, it's kind of like it's more like 8 to 11 or 8 to 10:30. Take a few hours, come back for power hour. So hit me up on the Discord. And anyone else that has questions, we're going to start blowing up this Discord. Get it a lot more active than it's been, especially with this market. But Rapid 7, Information Technology Services, symbol RPD. Dot arrow. Diamond. And how I look at these diamond kind of confirmation scenarios is that the diamond is a stamp. That was a little additional bell whistle we added, and you're just looking at that bar and for the middle of the bar. So we should be in a continuation. Looking better. Get above the 50 level. I will add this. RPD, you make the list. Well done. Rapid 7. I have no idea what that is. I'll look at it though. What's the market? Market cap 800 million. I like those sub billion market caps and then they rip. You got it. Couple other ones. SR Flip from 2016. Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, you're all the way back there retesting. That's kind of the comment was, retesting 2018. Another just harmonic phenomenon that you will see, whether it happens quickly or takes time. Usually, you're going to have some kind of IPO range. You do some blast move, and then you do an 886 reset. And you start looking at the 886. That's like SpaceX, which I think SpaceX is it's holding in just fine. If we get to 129, great. But we're not falling apart. 129 is the type 2. Extended hours, SpaceX. It's a crab pattern. So we do have some things down here. Arrow, diamond, dot, checked back. That was more like 133. If we don't retest 129, that's fine by me because it's more about this daily scenario on SpaceX. And we didn't get oversold. Keep an eye on SpaceX. I really like the prospects of SpaceX coming all the way back, doing an 886, get us back to 200, 210, something like that. Okay, hold me to it. But I think it's a bargain down here. I haven't sold. In fact, I want to add. I'd like to add. Maybe get like 500 shares. I've got a couple hundred now. Get to 500 and just leave it. And just let it fly. One or two more of the things that I've mentioned recently. This T1 Energy, guys, looks really nice to me. That was one of the Ken Griffin, Ashbrenner picks that he had. And 417 is a big, big level. We just came off of that. That's TE is the symbol. I like it. I think your early stage is turning around. And again, patterns looking left, sure. This bat, not the nicest, but it's more about where does the confirmation come in against that pattern. That's like $5. Monthly. I would prefer to see that monthly pointing back up, but again, this is early. But it's on our radar. And there's a few. The other one was this Tabula. That was another one I mentioned last time. Low floater, monthly triggered earlier, lots of time here. And again, TBLA, not doing anything but monitoring this. And you have some confirmation. I'm looking for those stocks that are, $2, $3. Get really nice development that turn into 15, 20. Yeah, we can look at Keel. Sure. I missed the bottom on BTC. What's my take on 39K? I started with that today. All right? And I told you it's still early no matter what. I didn't miss anything. Okay? If you're in there, if you're looking for a BTC bottom and you just go sideways for 6 months from here, are you really on it? I didn't miss anything. I am saying that September is something where I was saying October before. I want my eyes open in September. But we didn't miss anything. And I would still say that a retest of 62K before anything can develop is something that is more than a coin flip. Okay, I've been really negative on it. Every cycle has gone to a 786, that's 39K. No problem. Wasn't bullish, wasn't long, but I'll warm back up to it in the next few weeks. And if you want to call that missing the bottom, so what? Didn't miss the top. And I think people are, I don't get it. People want to be in a cultural circle jerk on being so exactly right on Bitcoin that anybody that has a counter opinion is a threat. That's not how I look at the markets. What I'm saying is harmonic framework for Bitcoin buyers and sellers is starting to shift. Has not fully shifted, starting to shift. And I'll say that about gold. And then uranium here, UEC, was a new one that we talked about at the end of July. Your biggest pattern setup, all right, since 2024. Remember these at 4 and then went to 20? UEC, that's another one. We still might have a retest on UEC. Doesn't matter whether it's Bitcoin, uranium stocks, quantum stocks. Okay, get the retest. Get the type 2. And then you can make assumptions about really exploding. You know, we said that about Target. Gold, guys. You know, I think gold is probably the biggest sleeper of them all. We're 39.90. It's got big potential here. 4,700. All right, we're at the Gartley. Type 1. Retesting the downtrend line. Is the reaction over? Not yet. No confirmation, but we've hit initial targets. I still say wherever that next bullish daily signal comes in, should launch us. And the only two numbers I care about, 5,400 on gold, and then going full 1618, 1902 price discovery, 6,500, 7K. All right, take a look at gold. Here's the crazy thing about gold. And this is why, even with gold, you haven't missed anything yet. Why? Monthly inflection unfolding here. You got till the end of the week. All right, I don't think we'll come out, but we will come out next month. It's going to be a massive, massive signal. The biggest signal in 4 years. I'm in front of it. That's what I'm saying. RBRK. Let's do a couple more and get out of here. 322. Rubric. Monthly. Kissed 100. Smack it back down. What do you got? Bat pattern. Look at that bat pattern down here. Kind of ugly, but 51 was the number, and the confirmation came in a little bit lower. But that's the kind of thing I'm looking for. We are oversold on Rubric. So this is a situation where clearly a trender, big trender. We're going to get that inflection maybe by Thursday. It's still early. Couple other ones. What's up? Chase Brown, what's up, man? Welcome back. APLD, Applied Digital. I like this chart before I even pop it up. I know what's going on here. Shark pattern. Daily's giving you the inflection up 174 today. But look at this. Look at that. 23, 24. This current shark's like 25.82. With another confirmation. Yeah, again, that's what the patterns do for you. Is there really some development going on here? That's what a harmonic pattern means to me. It is a special alignment of buying and selling, builds out a zone, gives you confirmation, okay, and then the targets. Turning around, right? We can all agree, even if you took the patterns away, that's a successful retest of the prior inflection. Secondary high, secondary low at a higher level. At a minimum, I'm looking 36.83. That's how we build out the argument. Yep. Couple more. DMGI for Nico. What's up, Nico? DMGI. Oh, I like that one. Yeah, I'm long this, right? I'm long this one. It's like that. I brought this up last time. I'm long this. DMG blockchain solutions, right? I don't have a huge position. I've got like 14, 15,000 shares, something like that. But this is a longer term sleeper play. Like we get out of this hole down here and we start turning around. It's a type 2 bat pattern. And with the weekly confirmation, yeah, things can happen from a pattern like that where I think it's worth it. Get yourself 1,000 shares. Get yourself 5,000 shares. 1,500 bucks, $2,000, and let's look for this thing to develop and explode, and then we'll take it from there. But in my opinion, this has got big winner written all over it. It just needs time. Not to mention, look, monthly, weekly had some signals. Monthly, the monthly dot. There you go. Again, I love what the software has been doing. And I'm looking at the best signals. This monthly dot is significant. You're not going to get it in a one-off move, but you want to be positioning against this sucker. And we're above the 50 on amplified. All of this looks good, guys. Plant the seed down here at 30 something cents, and then rock it. USAR, what's up, Leaf? Let's do 3 more. USAR, that was another one. We were picking that a year ago. That one and UAC. You remember this? That's a perfect type 2, guys. Type 2. USAR. These are slow movers, but hey, this long-term uptrend is firmly intact. What you're looking for is to be entering along on a position and then get this to go back and retest static highs, or even better, minimum 25 up there. You getting paid anything? No dividends. I prefer those that are going to kick out some dividend yield. If it was, what was the one? Clorox, we said. And what happened to Energy Transfer? Energy Transfer is like a 6% yield. I haven't had a retest on that yet. 6.33. I'm looking. Those are slow movers, but again, for longer term investment profile. I'll give you one new idea. I have Upstart Holdings, UPST. Big patterns looking left. Doesn't look like much, but go to your monthly chart. Okay, we have retested successfully. Okay, we're going to get a dot. These are the kind of charts you're playing for the big recovery plays. They look like this. Some monthly signals. You retest it. You take that time. I think it's going to come into triggering in September, but that's really close. Line it up. That's on the list. Because it'll be too late. 2 months, 3 months from now, this will be too late. And the weekly chart, there you go. Stack patterns, stack signals. Accumulate slow. All right, buy in chunks, sell in lumps. A couple other ones. What's up, Jack's Machine? SK High Inks, right? No. SKYX Platforms. I like that. Electronic equipment. I do like it. What the weekly confirmation, but there's the monthly. All the way down there at like 83 cents. That's a big low floater penny play. I consider that successfully based out. If you really want to see confirmation and turn into acceleration, again, go to September. It's probably going to be like that. You got to get above the 50. But it's interesting. It's interesting. What was the other one? SK. Where'd you go? SKHY. Okay, that's the memory play from Korea ADR. And this came out as a fresh IPO. Maybe that needs more time. SK Hynix. But we're getting confirmation down here, and I do think these kind of setups, all right, that this came out as an IPO, treat it the same way. We will get one more 4-hour green bar. You're going to get a dot. So somewhere sub 150, 160, 155. You're positioning for this to go much higher. You're thinking ahead into next year. I want to buy it down here. Yeah, it might take time, but I'm projecting a 1618 price discovery. If this is going to do a real next cycle run, it's going to look like that as a minimum assumption. R. Smith, I really like that. Chipotle. I really think Chipotle, we know about the patterns on the daily, like this. I think this is another recovery candidate. We've been banging against pattern to pattern, which is fine. And we've been talking about that since about 35 or 32. But the monthly is what's happening for me. And this is another one where amazing run. Started a decade ago. Off of critical monthly signals. All the way up, down here, split adjusted was $4 or $5, went to 60. A 5-7 year run. 10x. Come back, early development. I like CMG, guys. Confirmation was at 34.87-ish. XA levels 31. HSI. I mean, look, this is exactly what you want to see before the price movement. This is what I talk about when I say HSI needs to be firmly exhibiting an acceleration above 50. Even better when you kiss that 50 level, little pause, that's a big breakout. That tells me there is momentum building inside of that turnaround. And I would say by September, you're going to get a nice push. There's a bunch. Oh, okay, so I did want to circle back. I'm not a fan of Coinbase, but here's something I don't want to dismiss. Coinbase, MicroStrategy, I just don't like.